Greetings, YouTube. Do you remember last week when I did a video about Planned Parenthood suing someone over the scandal of the false videos that were made? I'm happy in the fact that so far I've only had to ban 2 people on that video. But this week we have some more Planned Parenthood news. A grand jury in Houston investigating the recent videos that claim that Planned Parenthood sold fetal organs has cleared Planned Parenthood of any wrongdoing. Instead, they indicted 2 videographers, David Dalladen and Sandra Merritt, on charges of tampering with a government record. Mr. Dalladen also been charged with violation of the prohibition of the purchase and sale of human organs. That's sweet. That in an attempt to make a video proclaiming that Planned Parenthood was selling human organs, which they weren't, they themselves violated the prohibition of the purchase and sale of human organs law. That's just beautiful. The tampering with a government record apparently refers to the fact that they created false identifications to sell their con more thoroughly. So they presented themselves as someone else with actual IDs that they manufactured in an attempt to convince the Planned Parenthood that they were a legitimate news effort of some variety. And while this is good, and I hope both of these people do, in fact, get charged and are found guilty for their crimes, because the only people involved in this case that have committed crimes so far apparently are these 2. The social conservatives and the Republican Party have already gotten a whole lot of traction out of this story. They have benefited from these crimes immeasurably. Now, you can't say that they directly benefited financially. I wish we could. I wish we could create a direct link between these libelous, scandalous, horrible videos and a direct financial benefit gained by the RNC. Because if we could do that, maybe we could slide RICO in there against the RNC. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be great if we could say, hey, that those funds were from or benefits of a criminal act? Now that would be just glorious. Personally, I would love to find a way of actually suing the RNC, but of course we won't. There's many cutouts between the Republicans and these 2 people that actually did the criminal acts that produced those false videos. But it would be nice, wouldn't it? And I freely admit that Schadenfreude is not a worthy emotional experience. It is not something that we should engage in. But I did, in fact, engage in a little when I read this story. It did go counter to my general feeling of compassion for my fellow man. And I honestly do feel compassion for these 2 people. I can't say their hearts are in the right place, because if their hearts were in the right place, they would support reproductive rights and Planned Parenthood. If they were actually against abortion, they would make sure that comprehensive sex education was the rule across the land, and that Americans could have access to all the birth control and contraception that they could get their hands on for free at the point of delivery. That would reduce abortions. That would have a measurable real-world effect on reducing abortions. But these people actually aren't concerned about reducing abortions. They're actually concerned about controlling the bodies and lives of women. This is all anti-woman, anti-sex, sex-negative social conservatism at its ugliest. No, I feel compassion for these people because they've adopted a really warped worldview. They have a worldview that says that their beliefs should be imposed upon those others. That their beliefs, their social conservative worldview, should be imposed upon other Americans. And that they will break the law to achieve that. I will give them kudos for the fact that they didn't actually go out and kill anyone, because other social conservatives in America have done that. They've gone out and murdered people because they felt that abortion was wrong, which is such a twisted worldview and full of such cognitive dissonance. It is mind-breaking. I'm pro-life. I'm going to kill people. That makes absolutely no sense. But they've done it more than once. Just recently. But those videos, those lies they produced, are going to fuel that mindset and benefit the RNC. And anything that benefits Republicans in America is bad for America. There used to be an old saying that anything that's good for business is good for America, which is bullshit. Capitalism is the problem and not the answer to anything. But anything that benefits the RNC in America is bad for America. The Republicans have declared themselves as a terrorist group, and they're willing to use lawbreakers in their efforts to achieve their ends. They are a terrorist organization, and they need to be stopped. And their foot soldiers need to be stopped. And at least in this case, these two foot soldiers may actually have been stopped, which is good. But we need to go out there and stop the leaders, the people that have politically benefited from these lies, these false videos. But right now, I'm happy that just a little bit we've exposed the lies of the social conservatives. So I can just bask in that for a moment before we have to go back out there and continue to fight social conservatism in America and social conservatism in the world at large. Because I continue to say that it is the greatest pox that humanity has ever had to experience. And it has always been the greatest pox that has plagued humanity. Social conservatism is the source of pretty much all our problems. If we could do away with it, we as a species will be far better off. But right now, Planned Parenthood 1-1.